Welcome to episode 17 of the Titan Talk podcast. We are back after not really an eventful week. There's nothing much that happened, but we are here. We're going to give our thoughts on the new uniform teaser that got released a couple of days ago, the 3 Navy stars and the light blue background. And then we're going to move into Will Levis. We're going to say if we think the team should trade, cut, or keep Will Levis for the 2026 Tennessee Titans regular season. And then we're going to start off with a new segment after that. We're going to dive into the tweet of the week, and then we're going to wrap it up after that. So we're going to get things started right now. Now, diving into our thoughts on the new uniform teaser, it's been spotted all across Nashville on billboards and sides of buildings, the different things. You can see it right here in the middle here. It has the light blue, whatever it is, either the shorts or the jersey, and it has the 3 Navy stars here, and with the date March 12th, 2026, which was confirmed earlier this week by multiple sources, by Easton Freeze from A to Z Sports and Buck Rising from 104.5 The Zone, that this will be the uniform release date. It won't be the official trailer for the uniforms. It will be the day we see all the new uniforms and all the new logos. And what's your thoughts on what we got here?
Well, the baby blue, that's my favorite color of blue. I always loved it. Like back in the Marcus Mariota days when the Tennessee Titans run their Color Rush uniforms with that baby powder blue. That's really what this reminds me of right here. I loved those uniforms. Thought they were some of the best in the league back then. I really don't like it. Of course, all this is just personal preference. I'm not a big fan of navy blue, so I love this blue. I'm not a big fan of navy blue, though, so I really didn't like our home jerseys that we had these past couple of years, ever since the new uniform, even the old uniforms. I love the white helmets, but the actual uniforms themselves being mostly navy blue, I didn't think they stood out. I didn't think they were that great. So I am very optimistic about these uniforms right here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it too. We've seen reports earlier as well, past couple of weeks, that there will be some type of more red in these new uniforms here. And it was reported that they might be getting rid of the navy blue, but it doesn't appear so with this picture we have here, which I'm glad we're not getting rid of navy blue. I like the navy blue. That's where I kind of disagree with Luke there. I like the navy blue aspect. I like the 2 different blue colors there. But I think this looks very cool. And another thing I want to point out before we move into the next thing, if you see right here, I'll zoom in it on the screen, with these 2 stars in the middle, you can kind of see a T right here, like a sword type T. You think that's a coincidence, or do you think they did it on purpose?
I'm having trouble seeing it, but I can see what you're talking about. And if that is what they're doing, then if there's a sword in there, there's no way that's a coincidence, right? But another thing I want to point out, too, is if we're going away from navy blue, which is what everything seems like we're doing right now, so let's say these jerseys right here, these would be our home jerseys, right? Mm-hmm. The light baby powder blue. Well, the white jerseys are still going to be your away jerseys, like most NFL teams have. So, and I like those. I like the Stormtroopers, as they've been coined. I hope we get another alternate edition of that. But the thing that could be really interesting is, will the alternate uniforms now, instead of being that powder blue, will they be red? Like the red Christmas uniforms the Tennessee Titans teased in their last uniform unveiling. I really hope we get those uniforms because they look really good. Every time I see someone have them on, I think, man, we should wear those. I really hope we get those.
I think that'd be really cool, especially with a light blue alternate helmet with those red jerseys. I think that'd be one of the cleanest uniform combinations there. I don't know if we'll see it. From what I've seen about the last time, like you mentioned, it was popped up in the 2018 uniform reveal. The thing that they was talking about is that it was planned to be a part of that new set in 2018, but it failed in the field test version whenever they was testing out all the jerseys on the field. They said that the numbers were hard to see in the stadium on the red jerseys. So I'm hoping maybe they do keep the red, but instead of having a dark blue number, which made it hard to see, maybe lean into a light blue numbers on the red jersey, or even white with like a light blue outline.
Silver would look good too.
Silver would look really amazing if we don't get rid of silver, but we're going to find all of that out on March the 12th here, coming up in a couple of weeks. It's the second day after free agency, so we're going to find out what all the new uniforms look like and all the new logos. But now we're going to move into our thoughts on if we think the Titans should trade, cut, or keep Will Levis for the 2026 season. What are your thoughts on that, Luke?
Well, I think Will Levis, whenever he was first brought up in the draft spectrum. He was always viewed as a project quarterback. He was always viewed as a guy who's going to have to sit and develop. Well, we tested Will Levis. We threw him in the fire after Tannehill went down that season. And, of course, the Falcons game, he threw those 4 touchdown passes. He looked great. And then, well, every other game, it was kind of a disaster. But besides the point, I don't think you can find too many better ceiling backups. What I mean by that is you can find better backups in the league. Like you can find, like Sam Darnold's was a couple years ago, you can find guys like Baker Mayfield, like Gardner Minshew, guys who can play better football than Will Levis. But I don't know that you can find a rookie quarterback that has a higher, or a backup quarterback rather, that has a higher ceiling than Will Levis has on the bench. Best case scenario, Will Levis comes in if Cam Ward unfortunately goes down, shows that he can win a couple of games, and maybe next season we get to trade him for a pretty good pick. Worst case scenario, he's a serviceable backup quarterback that doesn't get to play, or if he does get to play, at least we know what we have with Will Levis. So I 100% do think there is a place in the team for him, but I think it is right behind Cam Ward.
I am going to agree with that. I do not think we should cut him whatsoever. You don't get anything out of that besides taking up some cap hit on that. But trade, I would be interested in kind of viewing about all that aspects of things. But I think far and away the best choice is to keep him as a backup, like you just mentioned. Because, like you mentioned, he's a really high-ceiling backup for the Titans here. Yeah, he's done some terrible things, but he's also done some pretty decent and pretty good things as well as a starter. Like you mentioned, that Atlanta game in 2023 and a couple other times, like the throw to NWY against the Vikings game, what was like a 99-yard touchdown or something like that. But that just shows you the kind of range on what Will Levis brings to the table. But, yeah, I think we should keep him as well.
All right, Nate, what is the biggest issue with Will Levis?
His decision-making.
Decision-making. Guess what? You can't really fix how accurate you are. You can't really fix how strong you are. You can't really fix how tall and fast and these things. You can fix your decision-making. You can fix your game IQ. And if that's his biggest problem, it's a fixable problem, which is a good problem to have.
I agree. I think we will end up keeping him. Like you, if you watched Robert Sala's press conference earlier on earlier this Tuesday, he mentioned about Will Levis and how he's excited to get to work with him on practices and everything like that. And he said when he played him week 2, when he was the head coach of the Jets that season, where the Jets came to town and tore us to pieces in our home opener, he mentioned that he played against him and he has potential and he likes what he saw. And, yeah, I just hope we end up keeping him. And now we're going to move into Tweet of the Week here, a new segment. We're going to go over X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We're going to look at some of the most popular tweet that was brought to the attention this around the time of recording this. So the first one here we have, let's go ahead and pull it up. So now we have up here the Tweet of the Week. You can see it in the middle of the screen here. Is that the Dolphins have hired former Titans general manager John Robinson as the new senior personnel executive. And to be honest, I think this is a huge mistake. I don't think he should be allowed near a football team after what he made happen to the Titans a couple seasons ago. He destroyed this team from the inside out. He only had one good draft the entire time he was here. He cannot develop people. He cannot make good signings. He is not a good football mind, and he should not be allowed anywhere near the NFL. He's a terrible at everything in the front office. He shouldn't be allowed in a building, yet alone the Miami Dolphins. They're already going down. You've seen him with the Titans. We was going up, and he turned the thing around and to a tornado, and we hit ground zero. But he should not be allowed to have a job, in my opinion. Trading A.J. Brown for Traylon Burks? Who does that? But I think this is a huge mistake by the Dolphins. I think it's a really kind of a ridiculous move for them. I just don't think it's a good idea for them.
All right, I disagree. John Robinson is an experienced man who has proven himself that he can be a Super Bowl winning guy in a front office. He did it with New England. John Robinson had probably some of the worst general managing years in NFL history his last couple of years, the Tennessee Titans. Other than that, though, he was solid. He got Derrick Henry. He got in Ryan Tannehill from free agency. He got, Malcolm Butler, Logan Ryan, Kenny Vaccaro, those guys in the secondary. He got them from free agency. He got A.J. Brown in the draft, Jeffrey Simmons in the draft. He put together a very, very good team that should have won the Super Bowl. You can't say he's a horrible general manager and shouldn't be let near a football field if the guy put together that team that went to the AFC Championship and was 2 quarters away from going on to the Super Bowl. Yes, I understand he has made some mistakes. Did he learn from them? He's had a little bit of time off. I do think it is a good hire by the Miami Dolphins. Here's a hot take. John Robinson was a better general manager for the Tennessee Titans than Rand Cawthron was.
I'm not going to
even with his mistakes.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. We didn't really get to see anything of Rand Carthon. He had, one off season here to work with.
Who did he get? Who was his big signing?
Who, Carthon?
Yeah.
Skronsky, wasn't it?
L'Jarius Sneed.
I was talking about draft.
Oh, draft? Well, I mean, you draft guys, but then you also sign guys in free agency. But Skronsky was good. Skronsky still is good. No one's going to hate on him. J.C. Latham, that was not a good pick. But Skronsky was good. But what I was getting at is he got L'Jarius Sneed. And who?
There is one thing I want to touch on. You talking about Robinson. You did mention that he's drafted all these guys. He's drafted Jeffrey Simmons. He drafted Derrick Henry. He drafted A.J. Brown. What happened to them in his control, though? He traded them away, got rid of them, like A.J. Brown. I mean, you can't do that. We got Treylon Burks. Yeah, he had a good upside in the scouting department, but when you get him on the field, he got injured every single snap that he played. Sure, that's not his fault, but you have to look these things over as the general manager, and he did not do that, trading away a future star receiver in A.J. Brown. We could have had a dynasty. We could have gone to the Super Bowl that very next year, but he cost us that moment, and he is the sole reason this team is where it is today.
Disagree. I disagree that he is the sole reason. Mike Vrabel has a lot to do with the reason the team is not here today. He couldn't win games. He lost games, so he got fired. Amy Adams-Strunk is one of the reasons the Titans are here today. Brian Callahan is one of the reasons the Titans are here today. Rand Carthon is one of the reasons the Titans are here today. Yeah, John Robinson is one of the reasons, but the sole reason, absolutely not. He's not a top three reason, Nate. Yes, he's a notoriously bad drafter. I'll give you credit for that. Yes, he had one of the worst trades in NFL history. I'll give you that. But don't forget, Nate, he did a lot. He brought a lot of guys in here. He knew how to build a team with young guys, old guys, mix them in between. He was, for the most part of his career with the Titans, a good general manager. But because he had those 2 horrible years, you're saying he's just the only reason? I think that's ridiculous.
Who'd he draft in the 2020 NFL draft, the year after we went to the AFC Championship?
One of the worst picks in NFL history, Isaiah Panda Wilson.
Who'd he draft in 2021, the year after we made it to the playoffs and we could have made a run?
Caleb Farley.
Who'd he draft in 2022? Wasn't there. That's my point, because he made a series of bad decisions, and especially in free agency as well. But this is kind of ridiculous.
What are his free agency mistakes?
Tons of them. You mentioned Jonathan Joseph he hired. I can't remember. I'm going to have to do some more research. But
he got Jadeveon Clowney that same season. I mean, he got guys who on paper should have been good. He got guys on paper that were not bad. Most of his free agency decisions were good. I think you're giving him too much hate here, Nate. I really do.
Yeah, we're going to come back to this on another segment in the future where we'll have more time to talk about this. But, that's kind of the first tweet of the week there. We're going to get more into that possibly next week on the John Robinson thing, depending on what happens around the league. Now we're going to wrap up episode 17 of the Titan Talk podcast. We'll be back here later this week with a quiz video here that is going to be me against Luke and a Name the Titan quiz, and we're going to see who comes out on top of that, and we will catch y'all then.